Welcome to Real Nerds Podcast, unofficially the official podcast at Denver Comic Con from now into eternity. I am Ryan. To my right is
James.
And to my left is my wife, if she ever wants to chime in.
I'll chime in a little bit. I'm extra boring, though. I apologize.
I don't think that's true.
That's not true. You're very beautiful, honey.
I've always been a bigger fan of you than Ryan.
That's
Yeah.
okay.
I'm pretty popular, so there's that.
It's the being a girl thing.
Yeah, that's what makes it really popular.
Well,
Yeah.
no. See, I feel like that it downplays my awesomeness.
Now
if
you
say that I'm
say
popular
that
as a
while
girl.
you were literally holding the mic with your boobs.
Yeah.
I'm not even.
Whoa,
kidding.
what are you checking out my wife's boobs for?
I'm
They come
sorry.
in handy.
Yeah,
It's like I have my own little mic stand right here.
attention is being drawn, sir. I'm sorry.
It is.
I didn't do it.
If you've never listened to us before, thank you for giving us a shot, of course. Every week we go see a new movie and then we podcast our experience to the world. This week, James, we went and saw Two Guns, click, click, pow, pow. I don't know what that meant. But, you know,
well, guns
whatever.
click before they get fired.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
If you play Russian roulette. Anyways,
with
so
a
we
Nerf
see a new
gun.
movie every week. This week it happened to be Two Guns. We also talk about movies we saw throughout the week because we're big movie fans. And if we weren't doing this podcast, we'd still be watching tons of movies.
Oh yeah.
Because that's what we do.
Maybe not as many as I had been. Honestly, I was looking at this earlier, because I went to see a movie today, and I realized I don't think there's anything in theaters right now that I really want to see that I have not seen.
Yeah, see, you're lucky. For those of you who have been listening lately, I've missed a few episodes lately.
Yeah, you've been on vacation
know.
or like
And then
doing
more
work.
vacation.
And then I saw Rod Stewart.
Yeah.
And I'll talk about something I saw in Vegas that pertains to my movie nerdiness in things we saw this week. But also, if you're listening to this and you say, oh, man, I wish I had some really sweet earbuds or to listen to this podcast through, you can log on to tweakedaudio.com. And while you're there, pick out any of their earbuds. They're all very good. James is listening to our podcast right now as we're recording it through his earbuds.
The parkour.
And then when you're done picking out what you like, when you do the checkout area, type in Real Nerds in the coupon code. You'll get a third off your whole order. So, Real Nerds, one word, REELNERDS. Also, you can... What the fuck am I trying to say here? Just get some freaking earbuds from tweakedaudio.com.
Yeah, they're awesome.
They're
except
awesome.
when, your husband gets the nice parkour ones, and
I have the natural
I'm
version
at the
3.
gym
They've got wood
stuck
on
with the regular iPod headphones. I think I need to order some more that don't fall out of my ears when I'm...
Well, honey, this is
running
my
on
show.
the
Why the fuck
treadmill.
would I give you the best ones?
I don't know. I don't know.
I already gave you my heart. I think that's enough.
Aww, this is
I would like
gross
some
now.
earbuds too, though.
Your heart doesn't come with earbuds.
No, it
does not.
doesn't. And if they did, it probably wouldn't sound very good.
So this is. I also want to give a shout out and thank Zach Eastman and Take 38 Productions. This is actually the second podcast we've done this week. We performed our first ever live show podcast
Yeah.
where I confessed my man crush on Hugh Jackman.
That was pretty cool. Yeah, we did talk a lot about the manliness of Hugh Jackman.
Dude, he's pretty manly.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't know you had been following him on Twitter and making sure that he was posting sexy
you
pictures
know
of
what?
himself. So that was
James, I don't follow him on Twitter. Real Nerds follow him on Twitter.
Oh no.
So you technically follow him too. So anytime you want to, log on. But yeah, we did a little charity thing for Aurora Rise, the little nonprofit organization that helps victims of the Century 16 theater shooting.
Yeah.
So that was a good cause. We had a lot of fun. We debuted Pod Show Episode 2 there. We also debuted my interview, in quotation marks, with Robert Downey Jr.
That was really good.
It was
It
fun.
was funny.
Um,
Although I remember, when he was doing it at the house, he was just watching these Robert Downey Jr. videos, the same clip over and over and over.
Like an obsessive person.
Yeah, I know Ryan is obsessed with RDJ, and I've accepted this, but I was like, this is a whole new level, honey. I don't understand what's
but then
going
when you
on.
saw it edited and what I was
Yeah,
doing,
and
it
then
was pretty funny.
And I was like,
Oh.
that's pretty funny. Increases your obsession with a dude, but that's all right.
But no, I mean, I do feel bad for Laura because she was sitting here and I don't know what she's watching, probably some dumb bitch housewives from Orange County.
Whoa.
And I was literally watching the interviews over and over again, and then I would go back to certain parts of them to see how I could fit in these questions I was asking him to what he was being asked, of Ben Kingsley or something.
Yeah.
And, it was probably annoying for someone who wasn't...
Yeah, I don't know why you didn't take advantage of those tweaked audio headbuds, hon.
Well,
That might have been polite here in the living room we share.
No, I was stoked. We gave away a bunch of free swag.
Yeah.
I hope everybody enjoys the stuff we gave away.
I know Cougar Littlefield won a signed copy of Saga #1, and then he tweeted at us, and he was like, dude, it was on Facebook, and he was like, dude, this has been on my reading list for a while, so hopefully he really enjoys it. I know he'll really enjoy it. It's just hopefully he reads it soon.
One of Brad's friends, I forget her name. She's written to the show before. She's the one who called in as the Japanese lady.
Oh, Mayo.
Yeah, she said she fucking loved my Robert Downey Jr. interview that I scored.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so that was nice. So yeah, that was fun. I hope we can do more live shows.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Try something new.
Yeah, it was fun.
So yeah, if you're interested in emailing us, you can email us realnerds@gmail.com. You can tweet us at @real_nerds. You can call us 720-6nerds5. You can like us on Facebook and leave us messages there, and we will read them on air in a segment I like to call Fan Mail.
Fan Mail!
That's a really creative name for the segment I'm about to read.
Because it's mail sent by fans.
Exactly.
Right.
So I'm pretty clever about that. I'm going to just give a little shout out to Mile High Horror and let all our fans know that it is official now. I got sent our table invoice for Mile High Horror, so we will be there.
Do I get to go?
You do.
Oh, right.
It's in October. It's October 4th, I believe. It's the Saturday
really?
in October, yes.
No, it's got to be the 5th, because the 4th is a Friday, because we know that
It is.
Machete Kills comes out on the 4th.
Machete, yeah. It is. It's the 5th. We will be there from, I think, 11 in the morning till midnight. So if you're there, stop by. It's at the Alamo Draft House this year, so it'll be lots of fun.
Oh, it's going to be awesome.
We'll be
It's a
interviewing
great
people.
venue for that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure our old friend Jonathan Tiersten will be there, because I think, if I remember reading his post right, he's trying to get Sleepaway Camp shown there.
Ooh.
So that should be fun. Hopefully, I'll ask him if I can moderate his Q&A afterwards.
That would be cool.
You'd have to
You'd have to watch Sleepaway Camp a few times that week.
Really,
know
actually, it's really
Sleepaway
hard
Camp
to
like the back of
find.
your hand.
I have not seen it in years, but
yeah?
I remember enough about it that it's one of those horror movies that kind of stick with you because it's kind of really twisty at the end.
I know for like $50 or something like that, you can buy a signed copy of the VHS.
The
tape from
VHS
him.
unopened.
Yeah. It's probably more than $50. It's probably worth more than that. But
I wonder if he opens it to sign it though.
I don't know. Hey, he's got to.
Yeah, I guess he has to. I mean, if it's a cool little.
Yeah. He's probably got, he's got like that big ranch house out there. He's probably got like a whole basement full of VHS tapes that he's been making in
Probably.
his basement.
I would.
Yeah. Just printing money down there.
So we only have a couple tweets. Daniel tweeted us again, and he said, "Listening to @RealNerds podcast while exercising may explain my abnormally fat ass." Thanks, fellas. Yeah, we're. I guess we could probably kill a lot of time by, listen to us talk, and while you're working out, hopefully we're entertaining enough where it makes it go by fast.
He was telling me there was that the problem was because I ran into him at work where I used to work, where he works, and he said that the problem was is we spent like 10 minutes talking about Morningwood in some episode. Now, I don't remember this. I don't remember us talking about that. Right, I know. But apparently we did, and that made it really hard for him to exercise.
Yeah,
Probably because
you don't want to be the
exercise
only one
weight.
at the gym like giggling to yourself.
Yeah, no, that's not cool.
That's all right.
Well, I don't know if he was at the gym. Oh, I don't know. Ooh, yeah. Then it feels dirty. You're out in public, listening to strangers talk about wood.
All right, it's fun.
Our good friend Dan, who sat in last week, I believe, correct?
Yeah.
He sent us a message while we were in the movie, and I don't know what this is, but I'm going to read it because it's funny.
Okay.
It says, Show Piercer, WTF. When the fuck will Show Piercer release in the U.S.? Because holy shit. Fuck, Dan. And then he linked us to IMDb.
Showpiercer or Snowpiercer?
Showpiercer.
I bet he means Snowpiercer.
Oh, wait. Showpiercer is the headline, and Snowpiercer is in his email.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I don't know when Snowpiercer is going to release, but it looks badass
What
as
is
shit.
it?
It's a movie where I think it's Chris Evans. He's on a train, and the train is like a little city, and in the back of the train are all the people who are working, and in the front of the train are all the rich people, and in the back of the train people, they attack the front of the train people, and it's like Metropolis only on a train.
Cool.
Yeah.
Where's the train going?
I don't
cares?
know. Hell. It's going to the future. That's where it's going.
Yeah.
If there's a whole city and you don't, why are they
metaphor
moving?
for progress. And there's badass people getting stabbed in it.
But
I don't know.
Where are they going?
It looks really cool. I don't. They're like probably. There's probably some excuse like they're trying to survive in a post-apocalyptic nuclear winter, and they have to keep moving, otherwise the winter will freeze their train.
Like, outrunning the radiation or something.
Oh yes, there we go. Now at a certain point, the Earth is round. So at a certain point,
you would find the radiation.
You would find the radiation again. But maybe the movie is as long as the half of the circumference of something about pi of the Earth.
Yeah.
Earth pi. Anyway, thanks, Dan.
Yeah, thanks, Dan. Snowpiercer. I'm gonna get that link and go check it out.
Yeah, clearly they are piercing through snow. Maybe they're trying to get through Siberia.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
Makes sense to me.
Doesn't matter. Dude's getting stabbed. Guy throws an axe.
And whilst in the movie, too, while we were leaving, Cora happened to email us.
Oh!
Good old correspondent. I'm going to see if I can... OMG! Double exclamation point. So I'm getting behind on my episodes again.
That's okay.
Sad panda. It's okay, Cora.
Yeah.
But I wanted to check in and say thank you for letting us invade the show again a few weeks ago. So fun! Also, we did go see Pacific Rim and Much Ado About Nothing after the movie with you all.
Oh.
Pacific Rim was surprisingly good. I was expecting just a robot versus monster movie, but it was so much more. Well, kinda.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I appreciated that it had a bit more heart and the characters you actually gave a shit about. Unlike Transformers, James.
Oh, come on.
Oh, burn.
That first movie's pretty good.
Much Ado About Nothing was fantastic. I've watched the Kenneth Branagh version a number of times, but Michael didn't know the story at all. He said the only thing that he could have made it better was giant robots. Josh did a fabulous job making such a simple movie. He needs to do that more often.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want him to do... you weren't here last week, but I saw it last week. I want him to do, all the comedies. I would love a
Did
Joss
you enjoy
Whedon
What
version
You Do About Nothing?
of The Tempest. Yeah, I did. I thought it was great.
Yeah, it was.
With a little bit of money and not doing it when he's on hiatus from Avengers, if he did the Tempest, I think I would die. Oh my gosh, it would be so cool, man.
Chief closes with, so we still need to watch Two-Headed Shark Attack and report back. But for now, I'm addicted to Orange is the New Black. Win. Gonna catch up on the last few episodes this weekend. Have a great show. Love, Cora. Cora.
I've been told that show is really good. It's one of those Netflix shows.
Yeah.
And I keep meaning to try it out, but I haven't.
It's about women behind bars.
Mm-hmm.
But it's funny.
Get it because the name is like fashion, but also about being in an orange jumpsuit because you're in jail.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So thanks, everybody, for writing in. Thanks for the likes on Facebook. Thanks for coming out and supporting Aurora Rise this week. And, that was fun.
Yeah.
That's all the mail we got. But we got some mail. It's fun.
Yeah.
We reach people. We make a difference.
Sexually.
Yes.
Yeah, no.
And we touch them with these hands. Oh, my gosh. Girls just melt.
There's a lot of internet groping.
I'm just kidding,
going on.
honey.
Oh, that is an intense stare.
It is.
You want that?
If only these hands could touch Hugh Jackman.
You want that 1-800-DIVORCE billboard number?
No. I think, but Ryan needs a number to Jared. So.
The gallery of jewelry.
Oh, man.
He went to Jared. Oh, hey. We watched some things this week.
So, this is the stuff we've been watching.
So when I was in Vegas, I decided to take part in a musical, James.
Really? Like Cats or The Lion King?
No, I did not do those. I went for more high-class musical theater.
Like Wicked or Phantom of the Opera?
I have seen Wicked twice, actually.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I keep meaning to see it. I never have.
It's awesome.
I'm waiting for the movie.
I'm sure it's coming. But no, actually, I was in Vegas, and my dad and I went to see Rod Stewart, but his show didn't start till 7, And my dad says, "Oh, there has to be shows before 7." And I tell my dad, I says, "No, Dad, nothing in Vegas starts before, 6 o'clock at night." And
Yeah.
the first day we were out there, we went to Planet Hollywood because I wanted to eat at Gordon Ramsay's restaurant there. And that didn't even open up till 11. So the whole place was dead. And while we were waiting, they had this kiosk that said half-price show tickets. And while we were standing there just goofing around, I saw Evil Dead in 4D scroll by. I'm like, the movie? And it was Evil Dead the Musical in 4D.
What? I didn't
Yeah.
know this was a thing.
Yeah. It was playing at this theater that was inside a mall. It was really interesting, but it didn't start till 11:30 at night. And, of course, after Rod Stewart, we went back to the hotel, me and my dad, and we had dinner. And he said, "Oh, I don't want to go see that shit." All right, I'll go. And so it took me forever to find this theater in this mall, but I finally found it. And after I bought my ticket, I was walking in line, and they had the Deadites there, like making fun of people.
Oh, yeah?
And I kind of knew I might be in trouble in this show when the Deadites who were there were not very funny.
Oh, no.
They were just kind of obnoxious, you know what I mean? Like, not
This is quickly not going the way I expected.
right. But the 4D part, what you're talking about, is if you spent $130, you'd be in the splatter zone where they would actually shoot blood on you, and you got like a T-shirt that says Splatter Zone.
It didn't say, like, I Survived Evil Dead Musical. It
No.
said Splatter Zone.
Yeah.
This
I
is
know.
lame already.
Right?
Well, then they could use the shirt for something else.
I don't
Oh, no,
give
you
a
get
shit.
it. You gotta keep
they
the
probably
shirt.
they probably have other shows there that have splatter zones, and they just buy one shirt.
I'm not
They
down
use
with
it
that.
for all of the shows.
So we have printed our own shirts. They are not that expensive.
Yeah, well, do you think they can
Like-
afford them? $130 tickets.
Yeah.
And mine was general admission.
$130. You can order a lot of shirts.
Yeah.
Mine was general admission, and it was still $60.
Yeah.
Because actually, they misled you because on their website it says $48. It was like $15 entertainment tax.
What?
Yeah,
Is that a
everything in
Vegas
Vegas
thing?
has everything in Vegas has an entertainment tax.
What the fuck?
Even when me and my dad got our Rod Stewart tickets, it was like $75, but the actual tickets were like $55.
So that's just how the government functions in the desert.
Yeah.
It's like Mad Max style out there. Like everything you do is 15% tax.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
So anyways, so I'm waiting in line, and these Deadites aren't very funny.
Oh no.
Whatever. So they let us in, and there wasn't very many people there. So my general admission seats, you could only sit in the back 3 rows, but it was only like a 100-person theater.
Yeah.
So it wasn't even that big. But when I sat down there, it was like me and 4 other people were in the general admission. And they said, "Oh, everybody just come up." So I sat like 1 row behind the splatter zone. So dumb. So those poor people who spent like $130 for these seats.
Who were like, "Oh, this is gonna be so awesome! We're gonna get splattered by an awesome musical."
Yeah.
And then nobody shows up, and they scoot everybody into the splatter zone, and
Yep.
Yep.
they get a shirt that says "Splatter Zone." on
I did
it.
not get a shirt, though. I did not.
Well, no, I know you didn't, but
But, so, oh, man, how do I say this? Here's the
not
thing with
good. I think the way you
So-
say it is
Yeah.
not good.
Here's the thing with this musical. They had some guy who was like a host who was not that funny. I cuss a lot, but I don't think saying cuss words makes you funny.
Right.
But he was trying to say, "Hey, you fuckers," or something. Like he was,
Oh, yeah.
he was trying to improv, but he wasn't very funny improving. So the show started, and it was whatever. It's basically a mix of Evil Dead, Evil Dead 2, and Army of Darkness, in so much that they just took lines from Army of Darkness and put them in. And there's this one girl who was actually kind of funny, but she overdid it, so she also came across as kind of annoying.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I'll get to the guy who was Ash.
Oh.
The
Well,
friend
I'm
guy.
terrified as it is.
They had a guy who was like super overweight, which is fine. He could sing,
Yeah,
but
fat
they
guys
had
are
him
funny.
do like physical stuff, but he had a hard time like standing up, so it just looked pathetic.
Aw.
So he was like a Chris Farley who couldn't commit.
Yeah,
But they
exactly.
could have given him like a little rascal, let him roll around the stage.
No, like no, there's
Be
This is the part
inclusive.
where I do funny things, but I can't get out of the chair.
there's a part where he went out into the woods and he came back and his intestines were falling out, and then he was spraying people with blood in the
Right.
splatter zone,
Yeah.
and he like fell down.
Wait,
and
hold
then
on, hold on. When they spray people with the splatter zone, do they go, whoa?
Yeah,
and
they
like
do.
shit. Oh, no!
They do.
That's horrible.
It's like a Guar concert.
Yeah, so he'd try to stand up after he fell down, and it was just a struggle for him.
Oh.
And he like put all his weight on like one of his legs. You're like, dude, he could sing and dance though when he was up.
When he was up.
There
As
were,
long as he maintained his center of gravity, he's
yeah,
all right.
there was
I feel so bad.
there was a funny song with him and Ash where they're singing "What the fuck was that?" when people kept on turning into deadites. That was pretty funny. There was a song where Ash and Linda fell in love as like a duet, falling in love in S-Mart, which is really good.
Oh yeah.
The guy who played Ash could sing well. Here's my problem. If you are going to play Ash in a movie, or in a play, there is a way to deliver lines. What Bruce Campbell does better than a lot of actors is when he says stuff, give me some sugar, baby. He's not saying it to say it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
He's making you believe that that's exactly what he would say in that situation.
Yeah. It's not a line. It's what that character says.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the guy who was playing Ash, anytime he'd have like "give me some sugar, baby" lines or "good, bad, I'm the guy with a gun,"
He'd get like that pause beforehand, like "Get ready,
it was worse.
Sunday, give me some sugar, baby."
He would do it in a horrible like William Shatner impression of Ash. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
He would stop. He would have the chainsaw, and he'd like look in the audience, and he'd like raise an eyebrow and say, "Give me some sugar, baby." It's like, dude. And so that really took me out of it.
Yeah.
Because the subtleties of playing the character of Ash is just like I said. He's saying lines, but he doesn't believe he's saying a line. It's, get the fuck out of my face. It's just stuff like that. But this guy, oh man, he was horrible. He could sing and he was good in the musical parts, but him being Ash was.
Is this thing sanctioned? Like,
Yeah.
Does Sam Raimi, has he seen it?
I don't know. I know the poster of it is Bruce Campbell's likeness in cartoon kind of form, and I know it was off Broadway for a while, and I mean someone actually spent time in it, and whatever. The guy who played you've seen Evil Dead 2, obviously.
Yeah.
The guy who played always forget his name, but he goes Bobby Joe. He's in Spider-Man 2 as well, but he's actually pretty good. The guy who played him was this like guy who could sing and dance. He's like this old scruffy guy, and he's pretty good. He was dancing and singing. It was pretty good. But just the Ash character was driving me freaking crazy. So yeah, it's definitely not worth $60.
Or at the very least $135.
Yeah.
But did you get half off for it? So was it worth $30?
No, I did not get half off because I didn't have time to. My dad didn't want to wait in line for it, and I didn't know if I'd have enough time after the Rod Stewart concert to go back to our hotel with my dad and then stop and then go again.
Yeah.
But whatever.
And that's why every time I go to Vegas, I always want to go see shows, but they're all so fucking expensive, and I know a lot of them are not like
worth it.
Yeah, absolutely not worth. But you don't know which ones are worth it because I hype up everything so much.
Right.
Well, too, and I was not going to go, but I would be really. There was a part of me that really wanted to see it because of what it was.
Oh, I think you had to see it. Like,
exactly.
If it were $80, I think you had to see it.
Exactly.
Even if it were trash. Like,
I was sitting. I came back to the hotel room with my dad. My dad was just watching something on PBS, and I was like, you know what? I should just go. When am I ever going to have an opportunity to see the Evil Dead musical? I'm in Vegas. Who really cares? So yeah. But,
I mean, the same thing goes if you ever got a chance to see Spider-Man take a shit in the dark or whatever.
Yeah.
The thing was,
I would.
Like, you have to pay $150. You have to pay to see that.
Exactly.
Even if it is awful.
Exactly. You're right because it's an opportunity, and you might never get.
Which is unfortunately why it was made, because they know that there are people out there who are going to pay for that shit.
Yep.
But still.
Well, whatever.
You can't.
Well, and then that you might see someone fall and get really, really hurt. So
that's not funny.
You could. I mean, and the one girl was kept on stripping throughout it.
Wait, what?
Yeah. I mean, she didn't go completely nude,
actress?
but yeah, she's like, oh no, my shirt got caught, and it really wasn't. She just ripped off part of her clothes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant like the main actress was also a stripper. Like that's the best they could get. And so in order to
their main actress, she could sing. She was just kind of annoying.
Oh, you mean an Evil Dead?
Yeah.
I was thinking Spider-Man.
Oh, no.
I thought like the best that Spider-Man could do was get a stripper who just needed a little extra cash.
So on the movie front, because we really didn't get a chance to spoil it and really get into the Wolverine, I saw the Wolverine this week.
Yeah.
And I really liked it.
Yeah.
I liked it because it's not your typical superhero movie.
Right.
Where, Logan he's struggling with what he did at the end. I can't believe they were ballsy enough to do a direct sequel to X-Men The Last Stand.
Yeah.
Because that one's so hated,
Yeah.
which I actually don't think it's that bad. I bought the trilogy on Blu-ray. It was $20 at Best Buy. Come on.
Nice. Yeah.
So I'm going to watch it again. But the Wolverine I thought was actually pretty cool. I mean, it's literally a guy who fights ninjas with knives for hands.
Yeah. But there's plenty of downtime. It's character driven.
It is really character driven.
I don't think that it's always done well, but it is at least interesting and fresh.
Yeah, the thing is though, I think Hugh Jackman is really good.
Yeah.
As Logan, because he obviously he understands character. He's played it. Was this his 7th time, 6th time?
1, 2, 3, 4. If you count X-Men First Class,
so 6.
Yeah, 6.
Yeah, and he brought this intensity to the role that, I mean, he's becoming such. I mean, I guess he's always been a good.
I was
actor.
gonna say, yeah. If The Prisoners ends up being what I think it is, then Hugh Jackman is impressive.
What's
like,
that line
beyond
in
what
the
I-
new trailer we saw? He says, "I'm going to kill this guy," or what? I forget what he says about killing him. But
Yeah. Well, the line in the trailer that is so good is something like, she's out there, waiting for me, not you.
yeah, it's great.
Oh man, that trailer.
So, the Wolverine I thought was really cool. I like the fact that he was losing his powers, and did he really not want to be immortal? Did he really want to end his suffering? And then it was an interesting question to ask. A hero is what makes you who you are,
Yeah.
and then when push comes to shove, he is a hero, and that's what he's going to do, and he's going to go in berserker rage mode, and
Yeah.
and they make no qualms about him killing people,
No.
about him not giving a shit.
Because he is not Superman and Batman.
No,
That's not who that character is. Which is refreshing to some degree.
yeah,
Especially when you are a killing machine with knives for hands. Like, yeah, your job is to stab people in the face. Not that he stabs people in the face, but
I wonder too because hey, big spoilers. The tag scene at the end was kind of fascinating. His bone claws are obviously back.
yeah.
And he's stopped by Magneto,
Yeah.
and Charles Xavier's back. So obviously they're setting up Days of Future Past.
Yeah, which is cool.
So my guess, maybe Bryan Singer directed that one, that little end scene.
Oh, it might be. Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah, I think so here the big spoilers here is of course the fact that what happens to his claws, why his bone claws are back,
Yeah.
and the fact that he doesn't have metal on them anymore. And Brad was saying last week, like they will probably just have Magneto squeeze some metal back on those things because
Oh yeah.
bone claws are not cool.
But
Yeah, not
too,
cool at all.
I thought it was actually really cool that when the Silver Samurai was first revealed to be an android, I'm like, oh, that's kind of lame.
Yeah,
That he's going to fight a big robot.
yeah,
But then when he chops the head off and the Silver Samurai is still coming after him, and you find out that the old dude is in there.
You didn't know the old dude was in there,
Well, I had a feeling that he was
Yeah,
going to
okay.
be because I know the comic character's name.
right? Yeah,
But it was just a cool, and Wolverine chopped his head off too, and
yeah.
oh no, what? But Wolverine killed him by jamming one claw through his neck and then another one through his head. It was great.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
So yeah, I had
like
fun
that
in
movie. Yeah.
it. This week I rewatched Spider-Man 3 last night. I always get this itching to watch it again of
Yeah.
all the Spider-Man movies because it feels like I have to defend that one the most.
Well, you definitely have to defend it the most, and I like that movie, but even as much as I like that movie, that's the one you have to defend.
Yeah, but watching it again, I haven't watched it in a while. I still think it's a pretty good movie.
Yeah,
It's
messy, but it's good.
I think the messy parts. The one thing I do have an issue in the movie is I don't like Mary Jane's character in it because I think she comes across as too much of a bitch. Because there's parts where Peter, he's just trying to relate to her. He says, Spider-Man's had bad press and she says, "Oh, this isn't about you," and I just don't like that.
Yeah.
'Cause-
Well, when is it about him?
yeah, exactly. And he's just trying to relate to her, and she's just being a bitch. And
Yeah.
I like Gwen Stacy more.
It's more you can see where the producers get into that movie.
Oh yeah,
and that's the problem with that movie.
And I was always watching it again, and I really was focusing on performances in this time around because I've seen it a lot of times, obviously.
Yeah.
But the end when Thomas Hayden Church and Tobey Maguire have this standoff on the skyscraper is actually I think a really powerful scene because he's saying that I never wanted to be bad and I never meant and he says a line where he says, your uncle was just trying to help me.
Yeah.
And then Peter realizes that, he never meant to shoot his uncle. And it's actually, I think, a really great scene. I didn't like it the first time I saw that scene because I was saying, really, Spider-Man, you can let the Sandman just go.
Yeah.
But I understood it more this watching it this time again.
It's a superhero defeating a supervillain with forgiveness. What?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's at least different,
Yeah, obviously my biggest problem with it is I don't like the newscast exposition.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like that stuff. I still don't think
Venom is bad.
It's
It's hokey and thrown in there and not right.
And Mary Jane in trouble again is lame.
Yeah.
But I mean, the special effects still hold up pretty well. I love Harry Osborn's arc. I think Harry Osborn's arc through the whole trilogy is really good.
The flying action sequence in that movie is maybe one of the best action sequences in the series.
Oh yeah,
that when he's getting thrown kitty corner through that one building.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, yeah.
Even the scene where he rescues Gwen from the crane.
Yeah.
I love when you see Spider-Man jumping off falling debris and using his spider sense and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm really excited for the new one too. So I'll probably watch the other two sometime this week because I got a jonesing for them. And the last thing I watched, I think you watched too this week. I rewatched Burt Wonderstone.
I did.
And dude, every time I watch it, it's just so funny.
It's funny if you remember when we reviewed it, I had said one of the things I really liked about it was that because it's PG-13, it meant that it was a movie it was a comedy I could recommend to my parents see.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I did this week was I watched it with my parents and they loved it.
Yeah,
and I was so happy because I was like, oh, it feels so good to be able to have a comedy movie that is genuinely really funny that doesn't have to be really raunchy or anything like that in order to be funny. And it's not that I don't like those movies. It's that there is room for that too.
Yeah, no, I agree.
It's cool to be able to watch those movies with my parents and,
what's cool
and then
about
be able to say things afterwards and be like, hey, he put a puppy in my pants. Nobody's ever done that before.
Yeah.
I hope not.
It's I don't understand why people didn't like the movie.
I don't get it.
I don't think they got the movie.
Yeah.
I don't think they understood the movie.
Yeah.
Where and Steve Carell plays just being a jerk so well, and Alan Arkin, of course, is great in everything he does.
Oh yeah,
and
fantastic.
watching it, I love Olivia Wilde in it.
Mm-hmm.
She's so cute, and Steve Buscemi and just the whole cast is really good in it.
You have to give up Anton because honestly, he's homely. No offense, none taken.
Yeah,
that's actually Steve Buscemi's face.
Yeah, it's great, and Steve Carell, he says these little off kilter lines that you don't catch right away, and then it's like a slow burn when they finally catch up to you again. I'm trying to think of one. Obviously, I can't think of them right now, but it's just
I had forgotten about some of the best big gags, like when he goes to her house and has dinner, and then he does the dishes by taking them and putting them outside the door. Oh man, that was hilarious.
So he takes Gillian Jacobs to
Gillian Jacobs
to his apartment, and it's pretend like you're holding a big pumpkin, and he photoshops her into a picture with him.
That's great.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's a fun movie.
Yeah,
it really is, and everybody should give it a shot because it also says too about how stupid I think Chris Angel is already.
Oh yeah.
And then Jim Carrey playing that character.
It was funny how grossed out my mom was by that character at the beginning, and then how sort of funny she seemed to think it was by the end. Because it takes you a second to get it, and then you realize oh, that's the shtick here. They are making fun of the fact that he is not really a magician.
Yeah.
That's good.
It is. It's really good. So yeah, that's what I watched this week.
Cool.
What'd you watch, James?
Only a couple more things. I saw so Before Midnight is out now,
Mm-hmm.
and I've never seen the Before Sunrise, Sunset movies. And I was like, you know what? They're on Amazon Instant Streaming. Like, I'm gonna go ahead and I'll rent them and see what this whole thing is about. So I rented the first one, Before Sunrise. And if you don't know what they are, basically Ethan Hawke and Julie Delpy,
Mm-hmm.
they meet on a train in near Vienna, and they get off, and like they sort of strike up a conversation on the train, and they clearly are sort of into each other, and so he convinces her, like, look, I'm leaving the country tomorrow. Why don't you get off the train with me here, spend the night like walking around the city with me, and then tomorrow I'll get on my plane and leave, and you can get back on the train and go where you're going. And she agrees to it, and then they basically walk around the city, and that's the whole movie. The whole movie is one scene after another of a dialogue where they are talking about some topic, and they run in, sometimes they run into something like there's a palm reader lady, or there's this guy who writes poetry, or they go into this little bar or whatever. So there's usually like something that's encapsulating the conversation, but it's really just a series of this couple having conversations. And it's really interesting. I think at first a lot of it comes off, and it's 10, 15 years old now, but a lot of it comes off as like masturbatory, self-inflated philosophizing by people who don't really know much about what they're talking about, where they'll have conversations like, do you believe in, reincarnation? And you're like, oh. But what I realized was that over time, you do start to see little patterns in their characters and in the way they talk and in the way they react to things. And like, anytime that he thinks anybody is like ripping anyone else off, like he'll react in a certain way. And you start to see these patterns. And because of that, you start to actually see these characters developed in a way that I don't think, it doesn't get telegraphed to you. Because literally the only way you have to learn anything about these characters is what they say. And I think it's really great. I have a feeling that what I'll do is like next week I'll watch the next one, and the week after that I'll go see Before Midnight. Because I am really interested to see where this goes.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's a little bit different. I'm sure that whoever saw this in theaters the first time had a very different experience than I did, because I know there's sequels, So when they get to the end and they sort of go their separate ways, like I know, like, oh, okay, well, I'll get to see another one where they'll get back together or whatever. But it is infectiously romantic. I think it's the best way to say it. Like, it's really, by the end I was like, oh, I want these two guys, they should be together. It's just really cool. And I think people should check it out, especially if you like sort of a, I don't want to call it sappy romance, because it's not. It's really well written, smart romance. You got to sort of get through a little bit of the dialogue, because again, some of it is going to rub you the wrong way, and you're going to be like, oh, what fucking ignorant, uneducated, trite bullshit. It's the kind of stuff sometimes that you would, if you ever were in college and you went to a philosophy class, and there was that kid who liked to raise his hand too much, the stuff that came out of that kid's mouth, that's what's in this movie sometimes, and you're like, oh man, I don't want to listen to you.
The
but
guy
I think
who raises his hand, everyone just like, it's like a
yeah,
universal eye roll. Of
yeah,
the class.
everyone in the room just goes, come on. Yeah, that kid. But I think it's good. I think people should check it out, and I'm really excited to see what the sequels do, because basically the director sort of wants to revisit these characters every now and then, and so that's what he's been doing. And so I'm interested to see how that's going to change over time. I can't remember who. It's somebody. I've got it here, but I'll move on and then finally remember who it is. Linklater. Yeah, Richard Linklater. So yeah, I'm excited to see it.
Cool.
And then I also got a chance to go see Fruitvale Station, which Fruitvale Station was a movie coming out of Sundance that made a pretty big splash, and it's going around now. It stars Richard B. Jordan, or Michael B. Jordan. Not Richard. It's Richard Linklater. It stars Michael B. Jordan, who I knew from Friday Night Lights, and thought he was really good in that. He is fantastic in this. Basically, it tells the story of... it sort of got big on the internet in early 2010, It must have been because it takes place on New Year's Eve. But basically, the movie starts with actual YouTube footage that was shot by somebody with a phone camera that night when there was some police brutality and this guy was involved in it. And then it backs up to the beginning of that day. And it tells you it follows this guy for that whole day. And while I think that you might take away that, like, well, they're really trying to make this guy out to be better than he is, I don't think that's what it's trying to do. Basically, he's this guy who he's been in jail. He was a drug dealer, and while he's trying to go straight and trying to, keep his job and all that stuff, like, he's having a hard time of it. And he's got this girlfriend, and they've got a daughter together. And you really feel like he is trying to be better, And yes, he's screwing some things up in his life, but he is making a solid effort to be a better person. And then sort of some things come back at him and cause certain things to happen. And, I don't want to spoil where it goes at the end. I will say this is an extremely difficult movie. When I left the theater, I was not in a happy place. Like, I had to like drive home quietly and sit for a little while and be like, okay, all right, I'll get through this.
Sounds like my kind of movie, actually.
Yeah. Yes, you will love this movie. But it's fantastic. Octavia Spencer plays his mother, and she's not in it a lot, but she is a fucking powerhouse when she is. And I can't remember her name, but the girl who plays his girlfriend is really great. But Michael B. Jordan just steals the show. I mean, by the end of the movie, you wanted to be. I think part of why it's so successful is that you like this guy so much, and you want to be friends with this guy. So that then when things happen at the end, you're like, oh fuck, like this is rough. I would definitely say check it out. It's only like an hour and 26 minutes, so it's an easy afternoon. Well, it's not an easy afternoon go see a movie, but it's easy to squeeze in. That's for sure. Or at the very, you don't have to go see it in theaters. Maybe rent it when you can. But I was thinking afterwards, when we talk about movies that are important, I don't think we're talking about movies. These aren't movies that you're gonna buy and you're gonna watch a bunch of times because they're not fun to watch. But they're movies that honestly you see them and something about it sort of changes you slightly. It's a story.
Those are the movies that I watch over and over again.
It's a story that sticks with you in a way that even if you don't see it that many times or even if you don't buy it, it is important because if you ever find yourself in a situation or if you ever have that kind of a hardship, you will remember that little lesson or even that story, and it affects who you are to some extent. And I'm not saying that this, that's high praise, and maybe this is that, but this is definitely in that line, where this is an important movie that I think that people should see. So yeah, check that shit out. It's good. Anyway.
I'm gonna go see it. I'm gonna drag my husband to a really depressing movie.
No. Here's the thing. I don't want to oversell it here. 90% of this movie is pure joy. Like watching this guy, you are just having a good time. Like most of the time you are enjoying that movie. But anyway, it's good. Laura, you haven't watched anything lately, have you?
Well, I have watched things, but I don't know if you already talked about them because I don't listen to the podcast.
Right, no, I know.
Last week I went and saw The Heat.
Oh, no. No, none of us have ever talked about The Heat, I don't think.
Oh my god, it is so good.
Yeah?
It is so fucking funny.
What a great review. Oh my god. Put that on Twitter. They'll put that on the DVD.
It is
Oh,
like it's
we don't talk that way.
raunchy buddy cop humor
Yeah.
with women, and Sandra Bullock and Melissa McCarthy are like a powerhouse couple. It is so good. The chemistry between them is awesome. Like, I highly recommend it.
Is Melissa McCarthy funny because she's fat?
No, she's funny because she's a good actress.
Okay, good.
And is great at physical comedy, which a lot of women aren't, or they don't get the opportunity to do so. And so, yeah, it's refreshing and it's hilarious.
Good.
And I highly, highly recommend it.
Cool. Yeah, I want to check it out. I just probably won't see it in theaters. I don't like giving Sandra Bullock money. Is that weird?
Why?
Because I hate Crash, and I think that The Blind Side is pandering.
Mm.
Yeah.
So that's her fault?
Yeah.
Okay.
She chose those movies.
And I also saw Despicable Me 2.
Oh, no.
If you guys, I assumed you hadn't talked about that one.
No, because I don't think any of us have seen it.
I don't know. I
Does-
liked it.
Does it have a lot of Minions in it?
I love the Minions.
Oh my god.
Good news, honey. They have their own movie coming out next year.
Oh my god, that's right. Fuck.
I want
think it's
to
a week
watch
after
Minions
Spider-Man.
shows all like Minion shorts all day long, every day.
Oh my god.
And they play a larger role, but it's still like it's you get to see what Gru is like as a daddy, and it's so fucking cute. It's like
See that I'm down
can't
for.
even handle it.
There's
There's a lot of Minions in it, but like Gru's relationship with his girls as they grow up is like
See, I'm down
really,
for that
really
part.
cute.
Yeah, that part sounds good. The part where there's a lot of shiny stuff and like, hey, look, we're wacky. That's the part I don't like.
But they're wacky in a really cute way. Oh, I love the Minions so much.
Yeah.
In fact, I changed the text tone on my phone now is a Minions laugh.
Why did? Oh, it's not there.
Mm-mm.
Oh, thank God.
I've gotten really good.
I had
at mimicking it.
like a beaker from the Muppets as my text
It
tone.
sounded like a cat getting strangled.
It was fun.
It was obnoxious.
Is that it, Lori?
Oh yeah, just shitty reality shows. Watched my
yeah,
Kardashians.
They're horrible.
They remain shitty.
Watched my Real Housewives. That's about it.
All right, cool. Pay some bills.
Hello, Real Nerds listeners. I'm Mac,
And I'm Idiot Chittix.
and we're here to tell you to visit SphyrexesDomain.com. Why should you visit SphyrexesDomain.com?
Well, duh, it's simple. If you like farts and cartoons and bad words and stuff, you should definitely visit SphyrexesDomain.com.
How do you spell that address I see?
What? I don't know. Fucking S something. I don't know. I'm incontinent. I have no idea.
Fine, I'll do it. S P H E
Sure. Oh,
R
God. Oh, God. Seriously, you can
X.
spell the whole thing out?
S
Oh,
D.
God. Just say the domain part. I don't want to be here all night. Jesus. Does it get any more of a complicated website name? Stupid assholes first. Jesus.
Anyway, visit our website where you can read about all the funny adventures of 7 aliens struggling to live together in an abandoned warehouse in Denver.
Well, what? That's it? What? It doesn't say anything about my crazy hijinks or antics or... What? Ridiculous.
Nope, that's all Spherx wrote down.
Well, that doesn't sound funny at all. But you know what does sound funny? Gross.
Oh man, I'm
Oh,
hungry
God.
again.
Oh, it's so disgusting. Oh, Spherx is gonna be pissed when he sees what you did to his office.
Hey, what are you guys doing in my office? It smells like puke and farts in here.
Go to SphyrexDomain.com. Bye!
SphyrexesDomain.com.
My man spider sense is tingling.
Hey, look, it's Man Spider.
How's it going, true believers? When I'm swinging through Colorado and I need comic books, I head to Arvada, Colorado, to Colorado Coins, Cards, and Comics.
Oh no, the teal troll is attacking me.
My son's in danger. Will no one help him?
Oh no, it's Man Spider.
Colorado Coins, Cards, and Comics, the whips the competition with great deals on back issues, 50% off, hold slot, 20% off list price. You want sports memorabilia? They got that too.
Where are you going, Man Spider? The teal troll still has my son.
Here's web in your eye.
Oh no, I'm bested by Man Spider again.
So visit 6700 Wadsworth Boulevard in Arvada, Colorado, and tell them the Real Nerd sent you.
For barbecue that can't be beat, try Birdman Barbecue Sauce. Available and original and spicy. These robust, full-flavor sauces have the awesome power to kick your taste buds in their face. And for that smoking taste on everything you eat, try new Birdman Smokin' Rub. Caution! Meat left unrubbed may suffer from flavor performance anxiety. You can pick up Birdman Barbecue at local area Ace Hardware stores, Ruff's Barbecue in Golden, and the Danny Cash Hot Shop off Broadway. You can also like us on Facebook at Birdman BBQ.
Box office in North America and Canada.
This is the box office stats.
Is it really Canada too? I
Yeah.
didn't know that. Oh wow.
I guess I should say United States and Canada because it's North American box office. They're
I was
both
saying
part of
North America and
Does
Canada.
that include Mexico?
Same thing.
No, because
'Cause they don't
Mexico's
show
Central
movies in
America.
Mexico. Oh no! There are only two continents. There's North America and South America.
Yeah, but they're dividing it up by territories. Mexico
Okay.
counts as international,
Oh, okay.
but Canada doesn't. That's weird, huh?
Yeah, that is weird. I think that might be racist. But the people in Canada, they're white. The people in Mexico, not so much. Just saying.
Yep, maybe.
Speaking of which, I didn't talk about the fact that in front of Fruitvale Station, nothing but black people movies. It was really weird. Like The Butler, you know.
Wait, why do they have to be
the
black people
Mandela
movie?
movie.
Why can't they just be
No. I'm
colorblind?
saying that they're movies where all of the main actors are like, they're all black, and I don't know why we don't see those trailers in front of other movies or vice versa. Like, you know, the people going to see Fruitvale Station are not exclusively black, as I am proof. And the people who want to go see Mandela, oh my God, the teaser trailer for Mandela is one of my favorite trailers of the year. Like, I want to see that movie really bad.
Idris Elba, right?
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, I want to see 12 Years a Slave. I want to see that other movie I saw a trailer for today. Like,
They talk about him as being the next James Bond.
that would be cool.
That would be sweet.
He might be getting too old for it if they don't switch soon. Because he's got
Gets
some,
like 40 or something, right?
yeah, but he's getting some gray hairs.
Yeah.
Just saying. You want to pick a young guy so you can do like 8 movies.
He'd still be badass as him though.
Oh, it'd be bad.
Because you know that.
No, but you
that-
can't use it. You can't have like a young James Bond. He has to sort of have like a distinguished.
Whatever. Laura's so
Like-
in love with Daniel
Well,
Craig.
I'm
God,
not saying
I love me some
I'm not
Daniel
saying
Craig.
20. I'm not saying like Jay Baruchel as James Bond. Like, I'm just saying.
Wow, thanks, Q.
Yeah. I'm just saying somebody who's not 40, mid 30s, somebody who's seems like they could still be a spy.
I do love his speech in Pacific Rim.
Yeah.
Today.
Anyway,
We are canceling the apocalypse.
actual box office numbers.
The Wolverine,
yeah.
number one, not surprising.
Not really.
53?
Yeah, 53.
$53 million. Which is actually the lowest opening for X-Men movie.
Really?
Yeah, they're saying that because the first one had such like
Vitriol.
yeah, not very many people liked it very much that it actually hurt the Wolverine, even though a lot of people, critic-wise, love the Wolverine. I think it's 78% or something
Yeah.
on Rotten Tomatoes. But, you know, I'm sure they'll make another one because it's making a killing internationally. So,
Yeah. Oh, well, and it's just easy. That character is
yeah, he's awesome.
not somebody that people are going to let go.
Yeah, that's about it. That's the only new movie last week, besides
Yeah.
like some limited release stuff. So
Yep.
the Wolverine, cool. I wonder what's coming out on Blu-ray next week. Oh, I know James has the page up already.
Yeah.
DVD releases and Blu-rays.
Big one, Oblivion.
Yep. That
Good
yeah.
old Tom Cruise.
Yeah, I'm excited to see that movie again.
Me too.
If only to
I bet it looks fantastic on Blu-ray.
Yeah, and if only to make sure that it is as good as I kind of remember. You know, not that it was the best movie of the year or anything, but fun.
Yeah, it was a
That's
cool movie.
fun sci-fi movie. One of my favorite movies of the year, though, so far, Mud comes out this week.
I'm excited to see it.
Matthew McConaughey movie.
There's the one I'm excited right there. See that? Robin Hood.
Oh yeah, the 40th
Dude, I
anniversary.
love the theme song to that.
Yeah.
And all the animals are running across storybooks and stuff.
Yeah. Isn't that the one that like half of that movie is reused animation from other movies? Like that's why the snake is the same and like
No, there's the same voices though. So
well, but like some of the animated like that snake definitely has similar
Oh,
animations.
no,
as
it's the
from-
same voice,
from,
and
from Jungle Book.
yeah, what they're doing is they took the voice in the snake and then made him a character in it.
Right.
That actor.
The Borgias, the last season, which is what, season 3 comes out this week? No, I can't find it. And they're also putting out a complete series box set, which I never bought any of those seasons, so I might just pick that one.
Nice.
Because I really like that show. I'm sad to see it go. And also Community season 4 comes out this week. So if you want to see the Down episode, or the Down season, and A Place Beyond the Pines, which is another one of the little movies from
Yeah, I
earlier
meant
this
to
year.
see that.
was-
Never got a chance to.
yeah, I really enjoyed that movie, and I think people should check that out. On the Road, which is the Kristen Stewart Jack Kerouac movie. That comes out this week, as well as there was something with Olivia Wilde. Olivia Wilde and Ben Affleck in To the Wonder, which I don't remember anything about, but it has actual actors in it, so might be worth
Is that
checking out.
the Terrence Malick one?
Oh, I'm not sure. And West of Memphis, which is the little documentary about the what are they called?
The Memphis 3, right?
Yeah, the Memphis 3. Yes, it is Terrence Malick. Good memory.
I want to see the Sapphires. That comes out too. I heard it's really good.
I've never heard it. What is the Sapphires?
It's about this Australian singing group that entertains the troops in Vietnam.
Huh.
So, did you really just freak out that the Pagemaster's coming out
Shut
on
up.
Blu-ray?
Yes, I just freaked out that the Pagemaster's coming out on Blu-ray.
Gee,
I haven't seen that
Christmas.
movie since I was a kid, but I want to see that again, man. But I won't freak out that there is a Blu-ray version of Wing Commander coming out this week. That will not be the thing for me. But yeah, did you not like the Pagemaster?
No, I don't remember it.
Oh man, it's got
the Pickup Artist on Blu-ray.
Oh wait,
The movie that single-handedly destroyed Molly Ringwald's career.
Really?
she was in a movie after that? Do you know of one?
Hey, no, she's in Secret Life of American Teenager.
Yeah.
Oh,
20
she is?
years later.
And yeah, man. Yeah, but that's not. Is there a reason why that killed her career?
Well, no, but I mean, because Robert Downey Jr. is in it too. He was able to survive.
That's true. Yeah. Well, but he also got into drugs, so maybe she just avoided the drugs and gave up acting altogether.
Yeah, that's fine too.
Blue Water, White Death.
Ooh.
There is a
What?
shark movie out this week.
Nice.
Just saying. And then a whole lot of porn, but that's cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
Real news time.
It's real news.
That Pagemaster Blu-ray, only $9.
Yeah, are you getting it?
No, I'm not that crazy. How do you feel about Spawn?
Yeah.
Nah? Yeah, I'm kind of mad too.
Yeah, whatever.
But Jamie Foxx really wants to make a Spawn movie.
Yeah, he could be good in it.
Yeah.
I like Jamie Foxx, so.
Yeah.
And I mean, I do the show, so I'd probably see it. So.
It's interesting. It's one of those characters that feels so like 90s
yeah.
heavy rock and roll to
very.
me that I would kind of like to see somebody do it in a way that was modern and would
I
really
thought
make
the
me appreciate
HBO
it.
animated series wasn't that bad.
Oh, I've never seen that one. I've only seen the like shitty movie with the giant clown guy.
Mm-hmm.
I remember I used to watch the animated series with my sister when I was younger.
It was on HBO, so it was
liked it.
one of the first really adult animation shows.
Huh. Yeah.
I think you get it on DVD if you're bored one day. You want to check it out. It's all right.
I'm not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't care that much. But you didn't see the trailer for Bad Milo, did you?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so this is the new movie from the Duplass brothers, which is about a guy who he gets like a not a tumor, but like some kind of cyst in his colon, and it comes alive, and then when he gets pissed at people, it climbs out of his butt and it kills people. I am not fucking kidding, and it's like a little puppet. Like there's this little
Nice.
puppet of a here. Look at the friggin'. Let me pull up a picture so you can see what this thing looks like. Oh, and then he and it become friends. Look at this thing. Look at it. It crawls out of his butt and it
Is
kills
that
people.
Kevin Marino?
Is
Yeah.
he spooning his colon cyst?
Yes, he is. Let me see. There's an awesome tagline on this poster. Embrace your inner demon. That's what it says. And then he's like spooning with
It's like
it.
an 80s style horror movie.
Yeah.
It looks like the Goonies, not the Ghoulies puppets.
It's coming out this fall, the poster
Nice.
says.
I'm seeing it.
Yeah. This is one of those things that looks so stupid, and yet because I know who's behind it, I'm kind of like, okay.
Yeah.
Duplass brothers. All right. Sure. I'm into that. But I only bring it up. People should go online and watch this trailer because it's ridiculous. Like it feels like a fever dream when you're watching it.
Nice.
Do you want to go see hang out at the theme park based on The Life of Pi?
Yeah, I do.
Where like you stand on a mirror. Like that's the whole theme park, I imagine. You're just gonna go into a room where they got like a painting of the sky on the walls, and then you stand on a mirror, and then the floor looks like the sky.
Richard Parker.
That's right. Oh, and there'd be a tiger, and then the whole thing would be a metaphor.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, what a waste of 3 hours.
But I like
of my
that says
life.
there's going to be an alien attraction. That'd be sweet.
Yeah, no. That part seems cool. But basically, Fox is trying to build some theme parks based on some movies and stuff that they have. And good for them.
Life of Pi is probably not the one they should go with.
Oh no, they didn't.
Yeah, right. Oh man. So here's, I don't know why this happens, but Vin Diesel basically his career at this point is he either makes Fast and Furious movies or in his off time he goes and does interviews with people where he says, "Hey, I'm gonna make this movie." And then he just keeps saying that for years and years and years until it happens.
And then they make
Like,
a new Riddick.
Yeah, like for years he was like, "I'm gonna make a new Riddick movie," and everybody's like, "Bullshit! Nobody liked the last one." And now there's a new Riddick movie.
You know what?
And then he keeps saying like, "I'm gonna be in a Marvel movie," and it scares the shit out of me. And now he's saying, "I'm gonna make another XXX movie," and I kind of believe him this time. Like I don't know how many times he has to like pull movies out of his ass.
I was reading an interview with a studio executive. They were talking about this in my New Entertainment Weekly. That because he is the executive producer of the Fast and Furious movies, that he makes so much money with them that Universal gives him the green light on sequels to movies like Riddick,
like Carte Blanche, basically.
Yeah, he says because the Fast and Furious movies make $600 million.
Yeah,
and they're like, "Well, what do you want to do next?" He's like, "Well, make a new Riddick movie." Wait, I'll make a new Riddick movie, and then so they're like, "All right, you can make it." And that's what he does.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous.
Well, quit going to see his Fast and Furious movies, and you won't have.
No, because they're great. Speaking of which, Denzel Washington revealed this week that he turned down a chance to be in one, which I think is a bad move.
Well, he doesn't need any to be in that shit.
I absolutely would like to see Denzel Washington in a Fast. I want to see everyone in a Denzel Washington movie. Sally Field and Burt Reynolds drive up as the Bandit and Toad, Frog, whatever her name is, and then they race in the Fast and Furious. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Like, man, I don't know. I don't understand how Vin Diesel keeps making movies. I guess because I see
he has
them.
a sexy voice.
No,
and
he doesn't. He
gigantic-
sounds like he has Down syndrome.
Yeah, and here's the thing. I don't think he used to sound this way. Like in interviews, he used to sound fine, but in that promo thing before our movie tonight, he sounded like it was hard for him to make words. Like he sounded like he was trying really hard for you to. I want you.
It's like the
to
no,
Regal,
it's not.
Regal
It's
movies.
like not the intonation
Go
of
see
the way he speaks. It's like the
Riddick.
raspiness and the deepness of his voice.
Just because you say a big word, honey, doesn't mean his voice is cool.
But here's the thing. I feel like he's putting on that raspiness, and that's why it's so hard for him to talk.
I don't care.
He's
I
been
don't
wearing
care
out
if
his
it's
voice.
fake. It is.
He's talking
awesome.
like this all the time.
No, it's not, Laura.
Yeah.
He sounds like Rocky after he.
Yeah, but Rocky's been hitting the head enough
Yeah,
times so you
that's
kind
what
of
I mean.
understand. Yeah.
Anyways, that it for real news?
That's it for real news.
Cool.
It's a
Do you have a
silly
comic book for me this week?
No, it's your week.
All right, cool.
What's up, nerds? It's the Comics Corner.
You know, my favorite thing to do is when I don't have a comic book, I just go back into my Spider-Man will.
You ass.
And I'll pick a comic for you. This comic is really expensive, and it's really hard to find. But if you want to get the original, I mean, please do. It's Amazing Spider-Man number 33, and it's called The Final Chapter. In this issue of Spider-Man, Spider-Man is trying to find a cure for Aunt May, and it turns out that the only place that has it is this underground water fortress held by the Master Schemer. It turns out that this guy is actually Dr. Octopus, and Spider-Man gets a huge thing crushed on top of him, and he's stuck underneath it, and he's having, it's about 5 or 6 pages of him having this inner monologue about, I can't do it anymore. It's too heavy. I'm just going to give up. Is basically what he's saying.
It's issue 33?
33.
Yeah, I think I've read this. I've got the essentials.
And he's exactly. So pick up the essentials. And he's basically having this inner monologue about how he's not going to do it and he's giving up. But then he realizes that if he gives up, then Aunt May dies. He's letting other people down, and he musters up this incredible strength to lift tons of debris off of him, and he throws it off.
Like a mom whose baby is stuck under a car?
Exactly. And he wills himself, and he gets the cure for Aunt May. And
what's she dying of? Cancer?
Probably.
Okay.
And it's just a really great comic, and it really exemplifies who Spider-Man is as a character. The reason I picked that one, too, is because he's not around anymore, Peter Parker.
So and then 50 years later, He chooses to save a woman who has had cancer before, rather than and make a deal with the devil rather than keep his marriage.
Yep.
Yep.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
But anyways, I'm just highlighting one of the comics that's in Essentials. I think it's Volume 2.
Yeah.
You can pick those up at Colorado Coins, Cards, and Comics for 20% off. And they're all there because I was there this week, and he literally has, I think, 2 or 3 copies of every Essential Spider-Man.
Wow. They're really cool.
They're really
Especially
cool.
those first few where they're all the old black and whites and like the science doesn't make any sense. Those are really fun to read.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't know those early Spider-Mans were actually 2 tales in each one. Each one was like 15 pages long.
So the first one is like 40 issues.
Yeah, and so it's great. You should pick it up. Or if you see Amazing Spider-Man 33 and you have about $500 to throw down on a comic book, it's well worth the investment.
Cool.
That's what I got for comic books this week. Hey, this week we saw Two Guns.
Two Guns.
Starring Mark Wahlberg.
3 girls, 4 cars.
And Denzel Washington. Laura, should people go see Two Guns?
Yes, they absolutely should.
Oh, yeah? James?
So I went into this. This is the least excited I've been for a movie all year. I thought the trailers, I was just like, fuck. Like, I don't want to do this. I had a fucking blast. I really enjoyed this movie. And some of the plot is, a little bit far-fetched, but in a comic booky way, which is because it's based on a comic. But I think this is really great, and Mark Wahlberg and Denzel Washington are really fun together. Mark Wahlberg actually might just steal the movie altogether.
Oh, he totally does.
Yeah. But I absolutely say, you want to go see a fun buddy cop movie? This is the one. Yeah.
Yeah, the movie's pretty fun, especially the 2 leads. I did have a problem sometimes with the plot of the movie, but we'll talk about it after the trailer. I didn't mention why Brad isn't here. Brad's shooting the 48-hour film festival.
Wait, Brad's not here?
I know, right? So he's shooting that, so he's not here this week.
Yeah.
So he's really busy.
Yeah.
So we saw Two Guns without him.
But hopefully he's
and that's why also I won't have any interviews or anything or clips from the movie, just the trailer, because Brad has to edit a lot this week.
Oh yeah. We'll make it easy.
So we'll make it easy for him. So I'm just going to keep on talking, so he doesn't really know where to put in the trailer. And he has to listen to the episode really quick. I'm just kidding, Brad. Here's a trailer for Two Guns.
You ever heard the saying, never rob a bank across from a diner that has the best donuts in 3 counties?
That's not a saying.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. I get what you're saying,
Maybe
but it's not a saying.
It is a saying.
Okay.
It's a saying now. Go! Everybody sit down on the floor.
Fire in the hole! Let's go, come on! How much you figure?
$40 million.
$40 million?
But I got bad news for you.
What is that? Is that a badge in your hand?
DEA.
Petty Officer Michael Stigman. You know Bobby Beans was DEA?
Man, your boy Stig's a piece of work.
Did you know he was Special Forces?
You've been on this limb way too long.
Pull over! Did you miss me?
All right. On the count of 3, we'll let each other go.
All right.
1, 2, 3.
That ain't making me not be able to trust you.
The bank was a setup. We got to figure out whose money that was.
Well, like we're working together?
No, not like we're working.
Yeah.
No, like we're working in the same vicinity.
Together.
In the same area code.
Together.
He ripped off the CIA. Where's the money?
It ain't down there, I can guarantee you that.
There must be some kind of way out of here.
You got 24 hours to bring me the money.
Said the Joker to the thief. Yeah.
So, partner, what's your plan?
I got a plan. I mean, I'm capable of coming up with a
I'm not saying
plan.
you're not capable, I'm just saying you haven't told me. What is it?
I'm working on it.
Yeah, screw it. What's your plan?
No one expected. You should have seen your face.
Sure you can trust this guy?
Who are they?
Well, yesterday I said they were my family. Today they kind of want to kill me.
Yeah, I understand the feeling.
What'd I ever do to you?
Besides shooting me?
3 times over. Have I properly incentivized you?
More than you know. Make it rain.
You're my people and there's a code.
You fight for the guy that's fighting next to you. Give me the keys.
You want him? Come get him.
Oh, man! It was uncalled for. Give me the keys.
Saw that move coming?
That's correct. Give me the keys.
The trailer doesn't really sell the movie very well.
It's awful. The trailers are awful. Oh, man.
Well, and I think the trailer, too, gave away a big part of the movie that would have been a fun thing for the audience to find out.
Oh, you mean the fact that they are both
Yeah, and
cops.
that like...
Yeah, because they do spend a lot of time building that up.
Yeah, and then I was like, I saw it in the trailer. I know like what's going on. I mean, it's still a
Yeah.
good movie, but I think that could have been saved.
Well, see,
And yet they don't spend any time selling like the funny one-liners or any of that stuff. Like I just
Oh yeah.
Or oh man.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. I mean, basically, because Laura's right. If you haven't seen the trailers, Denzel Washington and Mark Wahlberg play cops from. There's Denzel Washington's DEA and Mark Wahlberg's Navy Internal Affairs.
I didn't know that this existed.
That's why my problem with the plot is what the fuck is the Navy doing?
I don't
with
know.
That doesn't sound like a Navy job.
Exactly. Yeah, the involvement of the Navy is where this movie is like it stretches credulity. Whereas they could have easily just said like, "Oh, he's a Texas Ranger,"
or could he be a CIA agent? Who's like
who doesn't know and then there's exactly. I would have made it into something like that. The Navy in Texas is the weirdest thing about this movie.
I know it exists. I know it's because I've seen that face before.
Sure,
but it doesn't. I don't understand what they're doing. That's the part of the plot that I didn't understand because you go in and you already know that James Marsden's character is a bad guy.
Yeah,
because you just know they're both being double crossed and so that's the part of the movie I had the biggest problem with is, when they're trying to describe this really convoluted, why are they doing it? When I just really want Denzel Washington and Mark Wahlberg to be together again.
Yeah.
Because they are really good together. And actually, I think one of my favorite moments from it is when they steal the two cars and they're, fighting and they both fall out. And I forget what Denzel Washington says, but he says, "Come on, let's go." And Mark Wahlberg is like, "Look, it's like that means we're working together."
Yeah, he's so excited.
Yeah, he's so excited.
Yeah. Man,
and there's just some funny little moments. When they have the drug cartel guy in the back of the truck and he farts in his hand, and he's like, "I'm going to put that in there with you."
He's like, "Yeah, they were here. Take that with you."
Yeah, there's so many witty lines in the movie. Like just. Even in that same scene, like when they open it up and they're like, he's either dead or he threw up. Oh, he threw up. Just stuff like that is delivered so well that it keeps you having fun even when, they are fumbling through this really convoluted, weird plot. But I think the payoff is cool. Like this whole big, bizarre but big Mexican standoff at the end between like these three different crowds and stuff, which is, again... this movie clearly was supposed to be a Tony Scott movie.
Yeah.
Like, it's scripted like a Tony Scott movie. It's shot like a Tony Scott movie. It stars Tony Scott people because it's got Denzel Washington and Paula Patton, who are both in Deja Vu. It ends with a Mexican standoff exactly like in True Romance and Enemy of the State. Like, this is a Tony Scott movie that just wasn't made by Tony Scott. And probably would have been slightly better if it were, but it's bizarre. Like,
it is. The movie's really cool, though. There's some really cool moments in it.
Yeah.
The Mexican standoff what you're talking about when Denzel Washington rolls up in his convertible and he has just all the money sitting in the back seat and stuff.
And the trunk and a big bag full of money. Like, oh, yeah. Yeah, no, that's good. And that action sequence is cool. I mean, I don't know why he blew the money up so quickly. Like, it seems
because
like
they wanted the money to rain and they could shoot.
Yeah, I mean, that shot is cool.
Yeah.
But the whole time they're shooting, I'm like, couldn't you have gotten behind cover and then blown it up?
But like
waited till Bill Paxton was closer.
One of the things I had a problem with. Okay, so he blows up the money. You were one of these three groups who desperately wants that money. After he destroys it, like, what motivation do you have to kill everybody? Just because
they'll kill him.
Because you're a dude, and that's what you do.
No, it's the Tony Scott ending. So when half of everyone is dying and the motivation for everything has dropped out, then everybody is going to shoot at everybody anyway, so they just shoot everybody.
You
Like
know,
everybody is afraid of getting shot, so they shoot everybody else.
Gotcha.
The one thing I do like about it was at the end where Mark Wahlberg had the gun pointed at Bill Paxton's character and Denzel Washington had it at James Marsden.
Yeah.
There wasn't this weird standoff. They're like, you got my back? Yeah, and they both shoot the guys.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, that makes sense. Like, if they're both pointing guns and they're on the same team, like, why don't you just take everybody out?
I thought they were going to do a joke where they were like, all right, where Denzel Washington said, like, okay, put your gun down in 1, 2, 3. And then it would be a callback to the, see, now I can't trust you because that's what, But I think what they did was actually better. Because then I'd be sitting there going, like, what? They didn't know that when you count down, that's because they're synchronizing when they're going to shoot each other, But yeah, I think their chemistry is really cool. And I would love to see, another movie with the two of them as these characters running around doing something. But maybe not one that involves, like, weird, huge conspiracies with the CIA and, like, the Navy. It's still, every time I think about the fact that the Navy is running around in the desert trying to shoot Marky Mark, I'm like, this is weird.
Yeah.
The action sequence is cool. Like when he slides up underneath the car and points the gun at that dude's nuts. Like that was really creative and fun.
And
but
it's, and
dude's in the Navy.
They didn't sell the movie like how, funny it was. There's a part in it where the Mexican drug cartel guy is pissing on his hand because it toughens up his hand.
Yes.
And Mark Wahlberg's getting hit with a bat. And he's like, just don't touch me with those piss-covered hands.
Yeah. Like, it was almost like they wanted, like, somebody at some point said, like, hey, you need to throw some 21 Jump Street lines in here. And, like, just put some absurd shit in there. And it works. It just plays for some reason. Well, some reason is because those two leads are really good.
Yeah.
Like,
and Denzel Washington, I still think is one of the greatest actors we have.
Yeah.
Because for just some reason, he's one of those guys too with like Tom Cruise. You just believe everything he says.
Mm-hmm. And then he can, even in a movie like this, it's supposed to be just sort of fun. Some of the lines he has early on when he's being serious, I was like, man, that's a good. Like when he delivers the what's he say to her when they're in bed together? He says like, "I always wanted to love you," or "I kept trying."
I meant to love you.
Oh man, that's a good line.
It is a good line,
and he says it really well. And then it stuck in my head. Like I wasn't even paying attention to the movie for 5 minutes because I was like, man, that's a good line. How could
I gotta say that to somebody someday?
Yeah, right. Yeah. I don't know. How could I reword that and put it in one of my own stories?
But yeah, I think the movie's better than I thought it was going to be.
Oh yeah.
I just wish the plot wasn't so
convoluted
and like it felt like it was really weighted down when they were trying to explain stuff.
Yeah.
It was a distraction from the funny.
Yeah.
It was, because if you just had these two guys running around, and trying to figure it out, and
I think it is simply the amorphous bodies above what's going on. Like you could easily change. Because I think Bill Paxton's really cool.
Oh, no, he's really
his
good
scenes are great. If you just said that instead of working for the CIA, he worked for some slightly larger drug cartel, and instead of working for the Navy, they worked for, I don't know, the CIA. Like all you have to do is change a couple labels, and the movie is suddenly so much more believable.
Because too, you didn't really understand Bill Paxton's motivation at the beginning.
Yeah.
Like, why is he going around and harassing these people?
Well, I mean, he's one of those archetype kind of characters that we usually don't get motivations for. Like
you just assume he's a bad guy, and that's sort of enough.
Yeah, like Christopher Walken in True Romance, where we don't have to understand that he is just supposed to go kill people and that's his job. But I think as soon as you find out that he works for the CIA, you're like, wait, so what's your job now? Like, because now he works for the government, and at what point is the government paying a dude to run around and shoot people in the knees? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, too, and he's keeping all that money in a bank. Why doesn't he just take all that money and retire and not ever have to worry about it?
I don't think it's his money; it's the CIA's money. But I don't know what I don't know why they're keeping it in a shit kicker bank in Texas.
The U.S. government needs tiny ass banks all over the country to hide their money.
Yeah, exactly.
Really?
Like. Fort Knox is empty, but there's a bank in Texas that's full of cash.
Yeah, it's bizarre.
Man. I don't get it.
Yeah, the whole plot, I don't know. Like, the end result works, but the plot's really silly.
I didn't care because I was having so much fun.
Yeah.
Like when they would do that stuff, I'd be like, oh, yeah, this is silly. And then we would move on.
It is fun to get those buddy cop movies every once in a while. Because...
Well, and this one is taken more seriously than like a 21 Jump Street. Like this, this again is in that same sort of Tony Scott area. of being real, but also having wacky shit happen in it and over the top action and stuff like that. But I am amazed at how much fun I had.
Yeah,
like I thought I was going to be ripping my hair out.
Do you remember? We go into every movie expecting it to be good.
This one was hard. I'll be honest. Like we were going into the theaters, like, all right, we'll watch this thing.
I know. I'll be honest too. I was looking to see if we could see Cockneys versus zombies instead.
Yeah,
I was just stoked to see a Mark Wahlberg movie, so it was good.
Yeah.
He's really good.
He wasn't
He's great.
He wasn't even shirtless, and I thoroughly enjoyed it.
He hit some dude with his Bronco and sent him flying through the air.
Yeah, that was awesome. Oh man, Paula Patton is shirtless. That was weird.
Yeah,
I'm fine, but I don't know why it's in the movie. They could have easily taken that and a couple of fucks out and made this a PG-13 movie. I don't.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
It's okay. I like nudity.
Yeah.
So there was titties in it too. They left the titties in.
That's
what I'm saying. Oh, Paula Patton is that actress. Yeah. So her.
Oh, her name is Paula.
Paula.
I was like,
like the
there's
lady,
a shirtless guy. What?
The lady version
for a
of
second.
Paul. Yeah.
I gotcha.
But yeah, because except for that, and because even the violence is not, I don't think, real crazy.
No, the craziest
There's some
violence is
intent.
when he shoots the chickens. It's like the most
Oh, yeah.
graphic.
Oh yeah, that was really good.
Oh, when he starts yelling at. That's
I think when the
funny.
guy gets shot in the knee, that one's pretty
Yeah,
hardcore.
it's pretty gross, I guess.
But even like there's that slightly gory when the guy gets the thumbtacks pushed into his hand and you see him pull him out, and it seems gross, but I don't think it's like it's not R-rated gross.
No.
You know. But yeah, I think you pull those things out, you get a PG-13 comedy or a PG-13 action comedy, you got yourself a hit.
Well, I think they're okay because I think Denzel Washington's fans are older anyways.
Yeah. I'm sure the movie will do fine.
I think it'll still do okay.
I don't know what it cost, but it deserves to at least.
Yeah, be a modest hit.
Yeah, it'd be cool if they made a sequel to it. You know,
yeah, I'd watch it.
One with less CIA.
Yep.
You know,
yeah.
Maybe one where they're just robbing banks. I don't know why.
Or they're taking out the CIA banks.
Yeah,
or the CIA
yeah,
agents,
exactly.
you know?
Where the story is as simple as like, the CIA's got these secret banks that the U.S. government doesn't know about, and we're breaking into them, which is what they imply.
And we were hired by the President of the United States to take out all these.
There you go.
cells of the CIA.
The President of the United States is played by Carlos Estevez. Yeah.
Or Bill Pullman, whoever you want.
Oh, man. Bill Pullman, Bill Paxton together at last because Bill Paxton comes back.
Oh
Yeah.
Maybe from
With
a
like
gunshot wound.
Yeah. With a gunshot wound to the head. And then they finally face off.
Yeah. Hey, next week, we're seeing Elysium.
Yeah, we are.
Wait, I'm excited for that one.
I am. Yeah.
Yeah, I won't be here, so have fun.
Yeah, that'll be awesome. I'm glad my wife's not going to be here. She'll ruin my fun at Elysium.
Why? Where are you going to be?
I told you, I'm babysitting my boss's kid.
She's going to be like, that could never happen in the real world.
Bring your boss's kid.
Yeah.
How old is he? Yeah.
Is it rated R?
He's like he's a year and a half.
That's fine.
Yeah, you
can't sit near us because you'll be loud and obnoxious, but that's fine.
When I saw Friday the 13th, there was like a little kid running around in it.
Ugh. Were there little kids in Texas Chainsaw 3D?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, when I saw Texas Chainsaw Massacre, there was like a 3-year-old in front of us.
Ugh. All of these people should not have kids. Man. Horrible.
I always forget that Brad had me pre-record the ending to the show.
Yeah.
So I don't have to say it anymore. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
See ya.
Thank you so much for listening to Real Nerds Podcast. You can subscribe to us on iTunes. You can also stream us on Stitcher Radio. Email us, realnerds@gmail.com. Visit our website, realnerdspodcast.com. You can tweet us at @real_nerds. Call us 720-6nerds5. Like us on Facebook. This has been a Nebulous Visions production. Until next week, bye.